Well, imagine being 30,000 feet in the air, relaxing into your flight from Perth to Melbourne when suddenly a completely naked passenger runs through the cabin, knocking a crew member to the ground while reportedly attempting to reach the door. That's allegedly what went down on board a Virgin flight, which was forced to turn around just 1 hour into the journey. Annoying. Sterling Ellis was on that flight and he joins us now from Melbourne. Sterling, good morning to you. How you doing, big fella? Talk us through what happened.
Good morning, Carl. I'm well, thank you. Yeah, probably the last thing that anyone expects to happen on a plane. We were about an hour in, and I had my eyes shut to try doze off. And all of a sudden I'm hearing running down the aisle, yelling, and then a fair amount of screaming. And I've looked up and yeah, someone is completely nude. They've charged over one of the flight attendants, and it looks like that they've gone for the door, cockpit door or front door, I don't know, but it was one of them. Luckily, there was a gentleman in business class who was a big guy. He stood up and controlled the scene. 2 others joined him as well, but it was a pretty scary moment for a second.
So just to clarify, the dude had nothing on, Zippo, and he was running through the main part of the aircraft into business class and tried to open a door. Is that about it?
Yes, yep, had nothing on. It was all out for show. And it did shock a lot of people. And it was, confusing, but it happened, yeah.
All right, there's obviously a humorous side to this, but when you're at 38,000 feet and some guy's got nothing on and he's trying to open a door, that gets pretty serious. What was going through your mind? Yeah,
well, look, regardless of what the situation was in the end, with everything happening in the world, the mind can wander to worst case scenario. And for a very brief second, I did think that, this was going to be something very serious. But luckily, there were 3 gentlemen that pinned him down, and the cabin crew were excellent in controlling the situation. They were composed, and the situation was dealt with pretty quickly. And yeah, we had to turn back to Perth, unfortunately, but we made it here in the end.
So you had your graduation, right? Did you end up making it?
Yeah, look, it makes for a pretty good story.
Yeah.
I was up from 2:30 the previous day, had work all day, thought I'd be home in the evening, didn't get any sleep, jumped off the plane at 6 a.m. the next morning, and had to put the cap and gown on, which, it writes itself.
I can't remember getting any sleep when I graduated either, but that for very different reasons. Look, are you happy with how Virgin handled the incident? Have they been in contact with you and other passengers to compensate you? What's doing with that?
Yeah, so once we did get off the plane, I was speaking to a few other passengers, and look, everyone's got a reason, and they tried their best to accommodate everyone on that red-eye flight. And if you didn't feel comfortable getting on that flight, they were, happy with putting you up for the night until you were comfortable. So they did handle the situation very well.
All right, and it's quite the tale to tell, as you say. Do we know what happened with this fella?
Not really. Once the plane did land, police came on board, escorted him off, and paramedics were also on the scene to, assess him. But as far as what actually the reason is, I think that's still yet to be found out.
All right, good on you, mate. Lovely to talk to you. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Sarah.
Thank you, Carl. Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.